Welcome to the Sports Insider Pro Daily Fantasy Football Podcast. From cash games to GPPs, we'll give you the info you need with breakdowns of all the games and key matchups to help you create your lineup. And now, here are your hosts, Ryan Hickswa and Justin Alvarez.
Hello, Insiders. I am Ryan Hickswa. I am joined alongside by my co-host, Justin Alvarez. Justin, how you doing tonight?
I'm okay. Feeling all right. Happy to finally get this podcast going. I know we
technical difficulties.
Yes, a lot. So to our listeners, sorry about that. But we're gonna get it out to you. It'll be up Saturday. So let's dive in. Let's get this done so everyone can start doing their homework.
All right. So our first game, we're gonna breeze through these games. Our first one is Denver at Buffalo. We have a 40 over-under with Denver at 21.5, Buffalo at 18.5. Denver had a big output. I know they were home for both games to start out. I'm thinking it's going to continue. What do you think?
I like Denver here. Not Simeon, and I don't like C.J. Anderson. I know you said you like him a little bit. You're kind of in between. I just think Buffalo's run defense is actually really good. They are at Buffalo. I think the passing game is going to be what we want to target here.
Absolutely.
And my favorite guy is Demaryius Thomas this week. I know Emmanuel Sanders had his touchdown catches last week, and he has built a good rapport with Simeon, even going back to last year.
Yep.
But I like Demaryius Thomas's matchup this week against Gaines. He should line up against Gaines, and that guy is really, really bad.
Right. No, I agree. He normally lines up on the right side along with him. I definitely think this is the week to go to Thomas. To what you were saying about C.J. Anderson, I don't know what he is on FanDuel, but on DraftKings, he's 5,800. I mean, he's been getting the production of someone that should be priced in the mid sixes.
Okay.
Am I going to play him everywhere? No, but he's going to get the volume. He has some of the highest red zone efficiencies right now to start off the year. If they're going to give him the rock and let him do something with it, I mean, I see them being up big, so I can see the game scripts come the second half be a C.J. Anderson kind of game. They're not going to really go to Charles.
Okay.
There are other, Booker's not really back yet.
He is back.
He is.
He's back.
Yeah, but
I mean, I'm not
worried
scared of
about
it,
him
but that's just another reason why. And like you said, your pricing over there on DraftKings maybe allows you to do that.
DraftKings is really tight this week, so if you want to put in one of those big guys, having someone like a C.J. Anderson is kind of where you have to look.
On FanDuel, he's 6,900. Melvin Gordon's ahead of him, and then Gillislee is below him, followed by Howard, McCaffrey, Lynch, Rodgers, Crowell. There's a lot of guys I like there before, and like I told you before, the O-lineman got hurt, and he was a big part of that line. Just a little, concerning, not having someone that good on your line to help push. I don't love him, but in GPPs on DraftKings, I think that's perfectly fair. I'm not playing him in cash. Are you playing him in cash?
I might.
You might. Okay,
yeah.
So for DraftKings, maybe. For FanDuel, I'm not going there. I think that's it. The
McCoy?
Other side of the ball. I'm not on McCoy, but you brought up a stat. What was that stat?
Every time, every time LaShawn McCoy does not fails to reach 70 yards total, he's averaged 110 the next game.
Okay. I would like to see who these teams were he was facing, number one.
I know, but right, Denver against the rush, funnel defense. I know
exactly
Zeke didn't have it. But
here's what I'm going to say to you. I'm going to have very low ownership to him in GPPs, maybe one or two teams with him. But I do like the call. I have said Denver's defense is a funnel defense, and that's what they're going to have to do in order to keep the game close and win. They're going to have to run the ball, and go to the middle of the field. So I can see him having a successful day, but at the same time, I don't think the upside is there. But hey, if he scores twice on 100 yards, then you'll take it in GPPs.
I would too.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I'm talking myself into Michelle McCoy right now.
Don't. Hey, it's only for GPPs. Don't do this to yourself. And not a lot of him. Don't have a lot of him.
No.
I don't think a lot of people will have a lot of him anyway, so I don't think it's going to hurt you if you're underweight. So that's it on that side, though. There's nothing else I like.
Yeah. I'm okay fading Clay this week. I don't like any of the receiver core from Nope. Okay. Our next game we have is New Orleans and at Carolina. We have a 48 over-under, with Carolina getting 27, New Orleans getting 21. The biggest thing to talk about is if we're going to play Cam Newton this week. It's New Orleans defense. They stink. Historic is the word I keep hearing. What say you, Justin?
I say don't play him. I don't care. I don't care. I think this total is going to be lower than before.
Me too.
And if it does reach this, it's going to be on New Orleans side by accident, because I think that defense is still kind of decent.
Right.
There are some places.
It's a decent defense.
There are some places you can attack it, but that's going to be. I don't see it really happening. But yeah, I'm not playing Cam outside of maybe one or two teams in GPPs. I'm probably making 20 teams. So again, like I'll have.
Look, now don't forget, their defense, Carolina's, is ranked high for the season. But look, and I think it's a legit defense. But don't forget, they've played the Niners and the Bills. So
exactly.
This is their first test too.
Exactly, and I think they can give up some points. But on Carolina's side, the only guy I'm really interested in, and not only guy, there's two guys. I like Benjamin in GPPs. I'm not playing him in cash. The target should be there. Olsen's.
He's burned too many times. As chalk. He's going to be chalk. He's going to burn you. Don't do it.
I'm not playing him in cash, but I'm still, when I'm playing Cam, I'm pairing them up. Simple.
Sure.
Okay? And I'm going to include Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, God, yes.
All right.
I'm so excited.
I'm not.
For Christian?
No, I think it's still going to. Look, he's expected to be this great running back.
This is when you find out.
Okay, fine. And it's against New Orleans, so I expect it to happen.
God,
so this is why I'm going to have a couple shares, but I'm going to be underweight to the field. That's it.
Yeah, I might be overweight. Last week, New England's pass-catching receiving core out of the backfield, because there's three of them. They had their own wide receiver core.
Yeah.
They had 13 targets. They caught 12 of them for 137 yards and a touchdown. Now, if I can get that production out of one guy, take it to the bank. Thank you for a mid-tiered running back. God, it's nervous and nerve-wracking to want to play him because they haven't done anything. But, this is the spot, I think.
But if that's going to be the case, and here's my only problem with what I'm going to say, but I'll say it after I say this. The rookie cornerback for New Orleans has been good the first two games. Again, he was versing two teams that aren't great at passing the ball, and they're not great offenses. But he's looked good, so Kelvin Benjamin still could be stopped just how, what's his name? DeAndre Hopkins is stopped in Houston. Because he gets a million targets, but the production is not there because the QB is terrible. And right now, Cam Newton is terrible. I don't know what it is. His shoulder's hurting. He's scared. Something's not right there. So, yes, that's why I'm going to have maybe one or two lineups for him. But
I don't mind him. If I want to target anyone, and that's the problem, because I'd love to play Funches.
I'm not playing him.
But it's Funches.
Yeah, right? He's terrible.
He's getting targets, though. I mean, he got 6 targets last week.
If he's cheap on your site, then that's
he's
fine.
Cheap. He's 42.
Okay,
and without Olsen, I think someone's going to get the targets. God, I want them to dump it down to Christian McCaffrey. Please dump it down. I think I'm going to be overweight on him.
That's fine, and that's a fair assessment, given what you just said about last week with New England's backs. And especially on DraftKings. I have to keep reminding myself that DraftKings, that matters way more. 7 points is 7 catches. That's not with anything included. So for me, it's just a little different. If he doesn't get into the end zone and he's not having that great of a day, it's kind of
Right.
it was whatever. So for me, I'm not going there.
He could be chalky too. Look, there's a stamp that you need to know and a star and an asterisk. Like, this could blow up in your face, but I might go down with the ship.
All right. So what do you like on the other side?
On the New Orleans side, I'm not really worried about the three-headed monster. This isn't the spot for it. Maybe Thomas. Drew Brees' home road splits kind of get over-exaggerated. He was the fourth best passer at home last year and the fifth on the road. So, I know it gets overstated. He just has games that win tournaments in the Dome, and he, doesn't on the road. Yeah. Thomas is who I'd want to look at. I feel like people are going to not use him and pay up for the other guys that we're going to talk about in a little bit. He's the only one. Ted Ginn can only run route. Unless you're thinking of Coleman.
No Fleener?
Nope. Don't want him.
All right. Good. I'm off of him. Like, everyone loves this guy now, and I'm just ready. I played him last week a little bit, but that's it. Like, I'm over it. Like, I got what I needed from him, and I'm not going to go chasing that.
No.
Michael Thomas.
No.
No, I'm not.
I'm paying up for better, or I'm paying down for better.
I think this is a spot you're just kind of hoping, and it's probably not going to work out. So,
no.
All right. I agree. That's
okay.
That's good.
Let's go to our next game. We have Pittsburgh at Chicago, 45.5 over under with Pittsburgh at an implied 26.5 and Chicago at 19. It's kind of, are you going back to him? He hasn't paid off yet, but is he gonna now?
Le'Veon Bell is 100% in my cash games. I hope everyone doesn't play him. I hope he goes off for 40 fantasy points, and everyone goes, oh, that was stupid, because it is stupid. This guy was the best running back in the NFL last year. People want to argue that with David Johnson, but I think he's the best back. For the last 2 years, the guy is a stud. He's slowly he got all the work last week, 97%, I believe, or something like that of the snaps. He's going to see that volume again. Ben's road struggles only help his cause. He's never been really affected by it. I love Le'Veon Bell. I'm probably going to have 70% in tournaments. I want to have maybe 100%. I'm going overboard.
Sure.
I'm going overboard. This guy has so much upside. There's no reason to fade him other than... He was dropped
$1,000 in
Exactly.
games.
His price is way too cheap. It's going to be so cheap. Yeah. It's never going to be this cheap again, I don't think. So... this is the time to buy low when everyone wants to just go away. I'm playing him everywhere.
Sure. Chicago lost their one of their interior linebackers, who was one of the best run stoppers they had, and it kind of changes this whole defense. I'm even gonna look at the killer bees. I want to use Ben. I look at him all the time.
Yeah,
I know his home roads are bad. But oh god, I want to do it. It'll be in one of my GPPs.
That's fine because I like the receivers still.
Right. Brown's gonna do his work. I think he's gonna come back. He had a tough matchup against Rhodes. Yep. But Mike Evans showed that this defense isn't that first wide receiver stopper that everyone kind of made it out to be. Look, it's a good defense, but good teams are going to be able to attack it. If Tampa Bay can do it, then Pittsburgh should be able to. I know their offense hasn't been as, best show on turf as it has been, over the past year. The only hindrance I see on Bell is the return of Martavius Bryant. Kind of cuts his slot usage, bringing down his receptions a little bit. We'll see how that changes, if that changes. Going forward. On the other side of the ball, nope. I don't. Cohen, maybe, but I think this defense is good enough to contain Tariq. You can't play Jordan Howard.
Nope.
God, I'd love to play one of these wide receivers, but nope.
Who are you going to play?
No, they're all cheap. Someone's going to get the work. There's a spot for him later, maybe.
They might score 13 points.
Sure. Once Trubisky comes around, someone might have play here. The only one on the Chicago side I'm looking at is Zach Miller. He's probably the cheapest I'm going to go at the position. It's, like I said, DraftKings is tight as heck. He kind of opens up a lot. Look, there's really only 3 tight ends this week I'm looking to use, and I'm going to sprinkle him in when I'm trying to pay up for those running backs, those wide receivers.
Yep, I agree completely. Like, Zach Miller is he's probably my top guy right now, just so I could fit in my team and feel happy about it. I've been trying to get Ertz in, but it's hard on FanDuel with, paying up with Bell and getting some of the good quarterbacks and running backs paired. So I love him as the tight end to go to if you're not going Doyle and Ertz. Really, that's the chalk of the week.
Sure.
Going back to Martavis Bryant, love him for GPPs. Again, that's what he's worth. Like, he can go off if for some reason Brown's not getting. Brown's still going to get his work, but Martavis could score 2 touchdowns any week, sometimes 3 on long balls, and that's all it takes. So I love him in GPPs, and I think Ben, you could play in a GPP or 2, but don't go crazy with him.
Of course. No. All right, our next game we have Atlanta at Detroit. The under-over is 50 with Atlanta at 26.5, Detroit at 23.5. I'm in love with this game. I'm going to probably game stack this game a few places. I think Matthew Stafford is my green light for quarterback.
How much does he cost?
62.
And
Ryan is 71.
So he's 62. Okay. He's 79 on FanDuel. So I like him as well, but again, I don't think I'm going to be able to fit it. So I'm going to go to some cheaper guys, but he's a great play. Overall, he's a great play.
Right. I think the game script screams throw me more, and I think the only thing I have is Narrative Street, which I hate, but Matt Stafford hasn't proven himself in the big game. And I think this is probably the biggest game he's had, next to that playoff game. But now he's got that contract. The team's hot. He's
2-0. Yeah. My point is he looks comfortable this year. He does. He looks like he hasn't, like, in the years past, he looks like, he's freaking out, and like he had Calvin Johnson a lot of years, and even the last 2 years, like, he's looked to be more comfortable and more efficient as a passer. Like, he'll still make some mistakes here or there, but I like him. I like where he's progressed and where he is now. So against this defense, I think throwing is what you like you said, the way to go, and I think he's going to rack up a lot of yards and have a couple more than 2. I think it's going to be 3 and maybe more. If they keep him, if they stay in the game, he's gonna have maybe 4. So I love him in GPPs. I love him overall, but I can't really pinpoint what wide receivers I like.
And I don't think when I'm doing my roster builds, I'm not,
only guy I was thinking about
Poole's gonna be on Tate, and he's been okay. Last year he was bad. So there's an opportunity there. I think Ebron, I hate playing him, but you got to look at him. I think he could be in for one of those 2 touchdown cheap. I heard he's really games.
Cheap at your site.
Yes.
So that over here, I think he's all right. But...
And then on the other end, you got to look at Theo Riddick on DK.
Yep.
Atlanta is the worst team against passing running backs. He's mid-price. They did raise it. He's at 51 here. I don't think it's terrible, thrown.
I don't think a lot of people will play it, so you should.
Yeah, no, I agree. How about on the other end of the running back? You're looking at either Freeman or Coleman.
I don't know what to do. I like them, and then I don't, and then I like them, and then I don't, and then
look, Freeman has ridiculous home road splits. Coleman is kind of that guy that scores the road touchdowns. Freeman scores the home touchdowns. I don't think this is going to be a runaway game either, so you're not going to get that kind of production like you got against Green Bay. I could be completely wrong, but I don't see the game playing out that way. I think this Detroit defense is a little bit better than what people think it was. You know, they haven't really had to prove themselves too much. This is going to be the game that tells you whether or not that's true.
So I think Coleman is a better play over there at DraftKings again because he'll get a lot of receiving yards. Not that Freeman doesn't catch, but, you know, like he's usually the goal line guy, and if they get down there, he might sneak one in, but I don't see his upside to pay, at least on FanDuel, to his 8,200. There's guys right around him, like Le'Veon Bell's like right there. I'm not going to pay less for this guy than Le'Veon.
Oh, yeah, no. He's pretty cheap, though. He's only
really?
67 over here.
Okay. Well,
he's a pivot. Look, if you don't want to play, if you don't want to play
Ajayi
because you think that's going to get out of hand, or he's a guy that can get you a touchdown.
Yeah, but I'm pretty much staying away. I mean, FanDuel, I'm staying away. And I would advise on DraftKings Coleman and GPPs, but that's it. And then the wideouts for Atlanta, Julio Jones, you can sprinkle him in. He's going to be against Slay. Slay is one of the better corners in the league, but Julio Jones is matchup proof basically. And I think he can find a way to get open and score. They're going to try and do that if nothing else is working. Now, I know you love someone in this game.
Yeah, I kind of do. Look,
right.
If you like Matt Ryan this week, I think you need to pair him up with Sanu. He has been seeing a steady dose of targets. He's been playing out of the slot a lot this year. Last week he got 6 targets, converted 5 for 85 yards. Week 1 it was 9 targets and he caught 6 for 47. He just hasn't found the end zone yet. If there's going to be a guy that has a sneaky 2-touchdown game, I don't think it's going to be Jones. I kind of don't mind Sanu and Cash. I think the production is steady, and if he hits the end zone once, you're kind of paying off. And his matchup is positive.
You're right. I mean, I don't like playing him, but I mean, you're pointing out. I can't disagree with what you're saying. Like, you're right. I don't love it though. I mean,
I don't love it either, but it's kind of one of those plays where it's dirty and you don't like it.
Yeah.
But in the end, he's cheap enough to allow you to really fit in. If you put a Sanu and then throw him with an AJ Green, your floor is high. He's not going to blow the ceiling off, but if he helps you put in Bell and Hunt or something, he's cheap and.
Okay, well, I'm looking right now. Like against Chicago, 9 targets, 6 receptions. Against Green Bay, 6 targets, 5 receptions. So
and that was in a negative game script for him because they were up so much.
So no, I mean it makes sense. And if you think he's going to get hampered with anywhere from 6 to 10 targets, then that's a good play. It's touchdown dependent again, FanDuel. So I'm probably not going there. You think he could have 2? Maybe I'll sprinkle him in some GPPs.
If they're going to be throwing the ball, that the middle of the field is kind of where you want to attack Detroit.
Yeah.
I think he's got a shot.
All right, I like it. Anything else?
Nope. So we're going to move over to Cleveland at Indianapolis, the barn burner of the week. I cannot wait to watch this one and drool. So that is a 40.5. I can't even say that because I watched that Thursday night game. It was crazy. 40 over under. Cleveland. At the time that I have this, I had Cleveland up 1. So they had a 21, and Indianapolis had 20.
Okay, it's basically a pick 'em.
It is.
I
look. There's
think
not a lot here.
Scores
but
to
I know.
be had here.
Okay.
In DFS.
Go
It's going to
ahead.
be ugly real game, but
Oh yeah.
I still think they can go over that total because they're both so bad.
Sure, I can see. Yeah.
Those defenses are so bad. They're so bad. Like, I thought Cleveland might be improved. They're not. They're bad. And so on one side, Cleveland, you have Higgins. He's the value play of the week. You have to play him. You have
everywhere.
To play him. Everywhere. Like GPPs you could get off of him, but in cash, you have to play this guy.
Is he going to be too chalky? Everyone's going to play him, right?
Yeah, 100%. Now, if he goes off and you don't have him, you're kind of behind, and the salary that you didn't save with him is going to blow up in your face. Yeah. So you have to play.
There is no one cheaper on DK that I really want to play.
Yeah.
Once it's him, the drop-off is done. And I kind of... There might be one, and we'll get to him in a minute, but...
Yeah, so for me, Higgins is a play. You have to play him. Indianapolis defense is terrible. He has a shot to actually... He can give you some big production. So on that end, I do like Deshaun Kaiser as well. Like, I was even thinking about playing him in cash. Yeah. Okay.
You know, we're supposed to give these people advice, Justin. Advice.
Well, I said I was thinking about it. I didn't say play it.
Advice.
Well, look, his first week against Pitt, he had 19.58 FanDuel points.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Much better defense. Then
yes.
He struggles against Baltimore.
Sure.
Expected. And now he's going into a dome. He can use his legs. He can beat this Indianapolis defense. I'm loving him in GPPs. I'm probably going to make maybe 4 teams with him or so out of my 20. So I can see a big game. And you know what? Like, paying down for QBs has been a thing. Like, if he gets you 14 points, you're golden.
Of course.
Now, GPPs, you're going to want him to hit 20 to 30, but he has that capability in his skill set.
The only thing I'm worried about is the squeaky wheel. Sorry, because Crowell came out last week and said that I should be getting the rock. This is kind of a perfect spot for him to get the rock. Kaiser went out with migraines, and I don't know, God, I hope it wasn't because they're horrible, but it could have just been, I'm tired of getting smacked around by Baltimore. Now, look, he could come back and do it, and, but I can kind of see this. They have to get down first in order for Kaiser to do that. So I think you're asking a lot out of an Indianapolis offense.
Sure.
To get them there.
Look, I'm not playing T.Y. Hilton. I am playing Jack Doyle places.
He's the only play here.
I could see 3 touchdowns for him, though, if they can get there. And Frank Gore, I'm not playing him, but that running back group can get them down the field closer.
Sure.
Look, I know I'm asking a lot, and this is just game theory. Like, you have to think this way in order to beat people and actually find plays that you might like over others.
Agreed.
It can happen, and so I'm going to have some shares of these guys because it can happen. And again, I agree with you, though. Crowell is probably the best play. Well, no, Higgins is the best play.
Yes.
Crowell's the second best play, and I do like him here. I'm going to have exposure to him in GPPs. I don't want to play him in cash.
You're going to have a Cleveland stack?
I am going to have a Cleveland stack.
Oh, yes!
I am having it. I don't care.
Oh, God.
I'm going to have one team.
That's going on the board.
Fine. I love it. Quote me, and if it pays off, then, hello. If it doesn't, I'll just kill myself. But
you sure no. This is a team to do it against? I'm actually more comfortable with that than I am with Carolina stack over New Orleans.
Yes, me too. And everyone's gonna have that.
Sure.
You're gonna have so much leverage on the field. I love it.
It's awesome. And then you go opposite and you take Doyle.
And you take Doyle.
Cash, right? 100. I'm almost. Look. Benjamin Watson, old man Watson, was 8 for 8 for 91. Yep. Brissett's shown quite the eye for Jack Doyle last week,
just
and
I think all young quarterbacks do. So
yeah, I think he's a go everywhere, all over the place.
Yeah, and that's it. Like Indianapolis, like Ty might, get one of those slants where he scores, but There's no upside, and you can't really bank on. I hope that happens. So yes, it's a possibility. Very small chance it'll probably happen. And I'm not going anywhere else. So I like the Cleveland side more. I love Doyle a lot, and that's it for this game.
Okay. Next we have Tampa Bay at Minnesota. Over under 41 with Minnesota at 22.5. Tampa Bay at 18.5. This is probably a line because they didn't really know what was going on with Sam Bradford. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look like he's going to play. I do not like much in this game. And it sucks because I really love their wide receivers. Are you starting Jameis Winston at all?
No. No Winston. I'm completely fading Mike Evans. You saw what Xavier Rhodes has done the last 2 weeks to top wide receivers.
Sure.
He's that good. I'm not going to pay that price tag against this matchup.
Okay.
No running backs, no nothing. And on the other side, Case Keenum, he's throwing the ball. He can be serviceable at times, but this isn't the best matchup either. And, yeah, I love some of their wide receivers, but as long as he's throwing them the ball.
Thielen had a great matchup if Sam Bradford was going to play.
Yeah.
I would have played him, just like I would have played him last week if Sam Bradford was going to play. But until Sam Bradford plays, which is really weird to say, you have to be off this Minnesota air attack. I know you want to talk about one guy, so go ahead.
Oh,
Deshaun Jackson.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Wow, I was.
Look, he's the only person that people are really talking about.
He's cheap on your site.
There's better plays. I don't know. It's Deshaun Jackson. Every time he's in this, Jackson's gonna go off for He does 4 catches for 59 yards and a touchdown, and it's like I could have gotten that from anyone.
Sure.
And that's the it's
he is risk. He's only a GPP play, but yeah.
And I feel like Jameson is just gonna force it into Evans. I need to see it. Like I still didn't see it last week.
Look, all I'm saying is fine. Like, and I'm not gonna have a huge percent of him, but
just go into it knowing he's easily going to win or lose you. Yeah. Because you can build this perfect lineup, and then he can dud on you, and then you're just a fish.
But if he scores 2 or 3 touchdowns, but that's my point, and he has done that in the past because of his speed. And Xavier Rhodes is going to be on Mike Evans, so look, I'm not saying I love it, but it is a viable GPP dart play. Agreed. That's it. Next game.
Okay. Next we have Houston at New England.
Okay. Can I just continue? I'm sorry, I'm jumping the gun.
No, it's fine. I gotta find the game.
Okay.
Because I'm awesome at this. Thanks. We have a 43.5 over/under with New England 28.75 and Houston at 15.25.
Okay.
Go for it.
We don't talk about anyone in Houston.
Hopkins?
No one. DeAndre Hopkins, pampered with targets, but again, he has to catch the ball for those targets to matter. And their QBs suck, and that's it. There's nothing to say here. So Houston don't play anyone in Houston. That's it. And on the other side, now we have some plays, but it's so up in the air. There's so many pieces. The guys I'm looking towards this game on New England are the running backs, and that's it. I know Gronk might play.
Last I heard he was playing.
Okay, so sure, in GPPs you can throw him in there because he's Gronk, but I don't love the matchup. I don't. What?
Well, okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I think you buried the lead a little bit.
Okay.
Are you playing Tom Brady?
One GPP lineup. That's it. But I'm pairing him with Gillislee and James White.
Okay.
Because I think Gillislee can score 2 or 3 touchdowns. It's random inside. They have a huge implied team. Not huge.
I agree. It is.
Someone's gonna have to score, and the passing they can't. They're not gonna be able to go crazy running the ball. James White is gonna get pampered. with a lot of throws, I think. So this is why I like it.
Yeah, look, if that's the case and people are off Tom Brady after what happened to them at home 2 weeks ago, I think it's Tom Brady and he's home and they got their asses kicked 2 weeks ago in front of their home. I would not be surprised if he, in the beginning, goes Tom Brady on Houston.
Okay, I just don't think it's
GPP
as
is
easy
great.
to do that against that defense.
Agreed, but yes.
So he's gonna want to, and I'm sure he'll figure it out. But I don't think it's gonna be, I don't think he's gonna have a crazy game. I think he's gonna have to let the running backs do a little bit. Yeah, some dump offs, which White can make his game bigger, but.
Right. And look, the only reason I say that is because I don't like the landscape of quarterback that much this week as a whole. I think you're either paying for Tom Brady, I don't mind Aaron, or you're paying down and you're kind of maybe getting something. There's risk down there.
Well, sure.
That we don't think is, we're mitigating it, but it's still Tom. So
it is. And he's going to probably be so low owned with all those other options available. So the thing is, I'm not going to go crazy on ownership because if it's a bust, it ruins your whole week. Or not your whole week, but he should be okay. But the rest of your roster with that type of money you're spending, it's going to hurt. So only like him in GPP, and I'm not going to go crazy with him. But again, like you said, they should score and somehow, and he's probably going to be in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And New England's defense. That's, like I said, I hate everyone on Houston, so I love their defense. Right. Cooks, no, thank you. I need to see it. Whatever, it's just not happening right now. And
look, I wouldn't mind if you're going to do it, you're going to GPP it, you're going to stack it. It's going to be Tom, Cooks, White for me, and then you're going to either win a lot of money or you're gonna not win a lot of money.
I'm not playing him at all. We've seen he has games that he can go off, but again, I don't think it's gonna be here. And 7 targets week 1, 4 targets week 2. Brady has.
They shadowed Cooks last week.
Okay, but that guy is a rookie. But I said he's been playing good. But my whole point is, if you're this, he's fast enough. Supposedly, Cooks can only beat guys who are slow.
Sure.
Which makes sense. But I don't love it. And I think he's going to go to Gronk more and White more and Amendola. And it just be so spread out. I don't love it.
All right. Any other plays here?
No.
All right. Our next game is Miami at the New York Football Jets. The over-under is 41.5. Would stop because right now they're the best team in New York. Miami has an implied team total of 23.75. The Jets 17.75. The only problem I have with this game is the fact that Jay Ajayi is going in with a questionable tag, and I believe this gets blown out so fast, so hard, they stop playing him. What do you think?
I think that Josh McCown is serviceable enough to keep this game decently close that they can't just sit Ajayi. Now they might give a little more carries to someone else, but I think he's still going to get a good workload. I am not scared. They are the favorites. I think he's going to be able to score 2 to 3 touchdowns this game. So I am on him. Cash, 100%. I am going in on him. I think him and Le'Veon are my cash game running backs, and I don't Ty Montgomery we'll get to, but he's a good player. I just like the workload that Ajayi's seeing, and they said in preseason they want to be a run first team.
Sure.
They want to get him involved. They want him to be the focal point. He's the Le'Veon Bell of last year with the workload, and Le'Veon Bell is gonna be still Le'Veon Bell this year with the workload. Sure. It just started off slowly. These guys no David Johnson, Ajayi stepping in as the guy who's the workload guy he's gonna have such a safe floor. Just go with it, take it, and don't think twice about it.
Which Miami receiver are you playing this week?
it's kind of weird, but I don't want to play either. But at the same time, I'm scared because Devontae Parker, we're waiting for this big game to come out, and it could happen this week. It could happen this week. But Morris Claiborne has been good in coverage.
Yep.
But then you have Landry against Buster Skrine, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't. He's not. I don't know.
Look, he's in a weird price tier for me, Landry. On DraftKings, he's a DraftKings play. He's not a DK play. He's not a FanDuel play.
FanDuel play, yeah.
He's gonna get peppered with targets that Parker can't get to.
Targets are king there, especially if they're gonna be converted.
I don't mind playing Landry if you can find a spot for him. I just think the salary is too high this week to fit him in. On the other hand, the other guy that's going to get peppered with targets is Curse. I think he's cash game viable in the same Sanu kind of way, with much higher upside. I can see him getting into the end zone, I think, but he's gonna get the targets. He's so cheap.
It's weird. He only had 5 targets.
He did.
Which is,
but it was all garbage time, and it's all going to be garbage time because the Jets are garbage.
I don't know. Well, they are, and I think if Miami just sticks to the run and goes a little, if they get up a little early, it'll be garbage time again. But
look, there's nobody else there. I mean, Robbie Anderson had a knee. I mean, he wasn't on the practice, the injury report this week, on Friday, but. If they're going to be down, they're not giving the ball to the backs, and they're not giving it to a tight end.
I just don't like. I mean, all right, Miami's guys aren't the worst. I mean, the best guys. Okay, I mean, but I'd only play him on DraftKings.
Sure. Play him. Oh yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, if you think he's going to score some touchdowns, like last week he scored 2. So whatever on 4 targets, that's not sustainable.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm hopping off before ever getting on. I'm just and one guy I did forget to mention, GPP play only, but I'm loving it this week. I like it more than Deshaun Jackson, and this is my bold call: 2 TDs if they're going through the air. It's gonna be the Kenny Stills.
Oh, buddy,
Kenny Stills.
Yeah.
Yeah, his matchup is good in the slot. I think, was it the slot? Yeah, yeah. No, I'm sorry. He's on the slot. Landry's in the slot. But he's going against Justin Burris. His combine speed time was 4.53, and Kenny Stills 4.38. That's a big differential. He can burn him. If they lose him, it's going to be a long touchdown. So I like Kenny Stills as one of my 2 cheap wide receiver GPP plays.
All right. And of course, Dolphins D.
I'm not in love with it.
I'm not in love with it either. But
I said, I somehow they're going to score, so maybe Curse does score a touchdown, or Bilal Powell finally gets a touchdown on a throw. It's just going to be so weird. And now they got the tight end, Jenkins.
Austin.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't think anything of it, especially now. He just got back. But I think somehow, some way, they'll score some points. And I don't think Miami's that clear cut of a defense.
That's fine. All right. So let's go to our next game. We have the New York Giants at the Philadelphia Eagles. Over under 44, with Philadelphia getting 24.5 and the Giants getting 19.5. I think this is a spot for what?
I'm not on this spot at all. I don't like this game.
I don't mind this game. I didn't mind this game.
There's only one play, and I've already mentioned it.
Hurts.
Philly's probably going to win this game.
Sure.
Ertz is going to be a big reason why.
Sure.
Maybe some Sproles, but I'm not in love with him.
I think you need to watch for Jenkins. He's the whole key to this whole thing. If Jenkins is out again, you could fire up Jeffrey. If he is in,
do you think
fire up Ertz hard?
Do you think Rogers Cromartie covers Jeffrey at that point, which because they're both
there's a
good
lot.
corners.
There's a lot to this game that we don't know yet. If Jenkins plays and Cromartie moves over to Jeffrey, give me Torrey Smith all day.
Yep.
I think he's cheaper than everybody. He's the lowest I'll go if in a GPP, because I think he's due for that big day. But he just got hit with the questionable tag. But it's just an illness, so it's not a hamstring or whatever. So if he can run, and Cromartie's not on him, I'm on him. Again, if I'm not too scared, Jeffrey's doing well, man. He had 13 targets last week in a competitive game. I think New York is going to want to keep it competitive. Odell's got a good matchup. If he was healthy and in this matchup, I would be putting him in that, AJ Green range. It's juicy. It's just I'm not going there yet. Maybe
he's not healthy
a little bit.
enough. I don't understand why he's playing. He's not healthy enough. All right. Give me a second. So Odell, again, I don't think he's healthy enough, so I just think it's a pass for me. This is all going to depend with the injury news. But Jeffrey, I guess even against Cromartie, he probably can have some success. But Torrey Smith would be the GPP guy
Sure.
I'd go after. And then I still love Ertz even more than I love Ertz no matter what.
Right.
But that's it. And on the other side, Odell Beckham would have been the only guy. Maybe Ingram, but
maybe.
I'm not in love with it.
They're not going to. No. The only other thing is I'm kind of on the Eagles defense.
Yes, that's my defense.
They're cheap enough where I think, let me see that Eli is Eli again. And if I get burned, I do.
Yeah.
All right, let's breeze through these last couple of games. Our next one is Seattle at Tennessee. 43 over-under with Seattle at 20.25 and Tennessee at 22.75. Look, Seattle's not doing it like they used to.
Nope.
I'm pretty nervous. Look, Russell Wilson's gonna get it together like he always does every year. In a few weeks, this just isn't the time for it. That being said, I think there's a few interesting plays here. Look, if DeMarco Murray can't go, I think Derrick Henry's a good call.
Yep.
I don't think anyone's going to be on him, but Frank Gore just lit them up.
They are not a good defense against the run like they used to be. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, so I think that's a good go. And then, this is going to be a fun one for us because you're on the other side. But give me Tyler Lockett. All day, I'm ready to throw him in a lot of GPPs. Look, Tennessee is second worst against guarding the second wide receiver. Tyler Lockett was that second wide receiver last year before he got hurt. Now Richardson is that second wide receiver, but I think that's starting to change. He got 9 targets last week, caught 6 of them. He's playing almost half of his snaps out of the slot, and Baldwin's getting it's a 60-40 basically.
Okay.
I think this might be a breakout game. I know we were both on Richardson last week. He dislocated his finger or broke himself. Check the story out online because it's kind of gross. But give me the other side of it.
All right. Well, I mean, aside of the injury with the finger, I think he has the better matchup on the outside. I'm not on Baldwin. I think there'll be a time where we'll go after it, and I might get burned here, but I think it's either Lockett or Richardson, but I'm siding with Richardson. He's so cheap. 7 targets week 1, 5 targets against San Francisco with a touchdown. I just think he can see close to 8.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 8 to 10 targets and possibly score 1 or 2 touchdowns against this Tennessee what is it? The cornerback. He's pretty bad. I mean, the slot cornerback Logan Ryan's pretty bad as well. So if Lockett does line up against him, he'll have a shot. Sure. But I think Baldwin's going to be there, and you think we would like Baldwin if we like Tyler Lockett. I just think Tyler Lockett has way more athleticism, and I don't know. I when I watch him play,
come on to the train, bro. We'll take you. This bandwagon is big enough for the both of us.
He's so athletic when you watch him, and Paul Richardson's just solid. Like
I know
he route running, and I love it.
Look,
Paul Richardson's bigger. So is he bigger? No, he's not. No, they're all about the same size. Actually, I'm sorry. But Paul Richardson gets again combine time 4.53 is the cornerback, and he's a 4.4. Like I just think he could beat him.
Sure.
So that's my reasoning for liking him a little more.
All right. We looking at any tight ends here? I know Delaney's there.
No, I'm really not going there this week. It might be all right for him, but Seattle's pass D is still good, and Tennessee doesn't really have these great guys that can beat them. So.
All right. Our next game, we have the wonderful Cincinnati Bengals going to the Green Bay Packers. The over-under is 45. Green Bay's got 27. Cincinnati's at 18. Look, we've listened to it all week from everyone we talked to, all the work we're doing. Are you firing A.J. Green up everywhere you can?
Yes, pretty much, Yep. He's in a perfect spot. Don't overthink it. It's the same spot as Julio Jones was last week. And they got a new offensive coordinator because A.J. Green was not happy and the organization wasn't happy.
Sure.
So he's going to they're going to look to him to get him the ball. I think he'll have a monster game.
Right. I was on him to start the week. I got scared of him because God, I hate Andy Dalton and having to rely on Andy Dalton to get him the ball. But I'll probably be back on him. Everyone keeps talking about it. I know that secondary is bad. You know, it's a spot that he should blow up on.
Yeah.
And I'm still scared to do it. But, yeah. This is
anyone else you like over there?
Sure, absolutely. It's going to be Ty Montgomery. On the Cincinnati side.
Yeah. No, me neither. Like, I would love to like Gio Bernard here, but I can't.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure I agree there, but no.
Yep.
No,
all right. No. And the Green Bay side.
Okay.
Ty Montgomery.
Look, people are going to get scared off of him because the coach said that they want to lighten his load up, and if there's going to be any matchup to do that with, it's probably going to be this one. If Green Bay gets off to a 2-3 touchdown lead by the end of the first half, we're going to be cursing McCarthy all the way up and down this field. But I think Cincinnati can keep it close enough where they're going to need him. He's going to – these wide receivers are all nicked up. Cobb's doubtful. Nelson's questionable, but I believe he'll play. We might just luck into them being too hurt that they can't take him off the field.
Yeah. I don't know who I like. I think I'm just fading this game. I think it's going to be an uglier game than people think.
Sure.
I like Ty Montgomery. Like, that's the guy, and then Green on the other side. I just think, and Rodgers you can play in GPPs because he's going to get his 300 yards. He should.
And I would play him naked.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe with Jordy because people might get scared off of Jordy. In a GPP, I think Jordy Nelson would be a good pivot off of some of those other big name guys. If you don't want to play, look, he's have a questionable tag, his entire career, and he just rakes. And this is going to be another one of those, I'm going to rake. Like, I don't think that the game script is going to be in Adams' favor. He really only steps up during those big games where they're close or they're behind. Cobb's not going to be there. If Cobb's not there, there's going to be a lot of targets to go around to other people. I'm not big on Janice or Allison, Geronimo, per se.
Nope.
But, yeah, no, you're right.
It's simple. I just – there's a lot of better plays everywhere else. And Devontae Adams, people will be back on him. I don't love it. These corners aren't terrible.
Right. You mentioned Bennett before.
I don't GPP only, but
sure.
All right.
Do you mind the Packers defense? I know it's AJ Green, and AJ Green might get his, but no, good, okay. Now they're way too overpriced. Don't be stupid or try to be smarter than the field, because it's not going to happen. All right, our next game is Kansas City against the Los Angeles Clippers.
Clippers?
What? Chargers.
Yep. It's still a hard game.
I don't know when I'm never going to get. One day we'll get there. The over/under is 45.5. Kansas City's at 24 and a quarter. The Chargers are at 21 and a quarter. Look, last week the kind of sneaky game of the week was the Chiefs and the Eagles. The Chargers offense, I think, is better than the Eagles. I think this has another fun look. I know they're division opponents and they're going to play each other tight. I think this has some sneaky shootout potential.
Me too. I love Phillip Rivers here. No one's talking about him. I'm going to have a lot of exposure to him. He's been great already. This defense has looked terrible. They just look terrible in 2 straight weeks. And, I don't understand why no one's talking about him, Rivers. But I'll have my shares. I'll go away with the money.
Yeah, I had him last week. I think it's another opportunity to go back at him. On the running side, are you paying up for Kareem?
I want him in my GPPs. I'm not playing him in cash, and I can see a reason to play him in cash. He's been good. He's getting his run, but again, I have better plays I like, or plays I like better, and I do think he should still be on a lot of your rosters though in GPPs. Okay. He has that ability to just go
absolutely.
So I love him in GPPs alongside with Tyreek Hill in GPPs. Like, I know that he's versing Casey Hayward, but he's a freak, and if he can just explode and get one catch and break away, like, he's gone. Sure. Like, I love him, and the targets are going to him, Kelsey, and Hunt. That's it. There's nothing else there.
There isn't anything else there.
Kelsey again, GPP too. But these guys, like...
Yeah, I'm not really... Look, I know and I understand the potential of those guys, but they're just too expensive. I'm trying to fit in,
I like the other side better for offense, actually.
Yeah, no, I do too.
And it's just the wide receivers.
Absolutely.
I don't like Melvin Gordon.
You never like Melvin Gordon. You've never
I don't.
Liked
he's
Melvin
bad.
Gordon. You don't.
His
he's not bad.
He's terrible.
He's not bad.
On DraftKings, it makes sense because he can catch the ball out of the backfield.
But do not... Yes, no, this is not... This is not...
Bad.
This is...
I hate him. Him and Gurley, they're the worst runners. I don't understand. They're wide receivers. They are. That's what they are. Continue. I'm sorry.
Kansas City is top 5 against pass-catching running backs. Don't buy this. I know they've given up a lot of ground yards, which might, maybe they can start running the ball, but they haven't been able to all year. It's all been out of the backfield. Stay away from Gordon. And I'll eat soap later. But I do love Allen.
Yep.
And I think I sort of love Williams in the same kind of way. I love Lockett in the same kind of way. I love Torrey Smith and all those cheap guys.
I feel like a lot of people like Williams. And I don't hate him. I actually liked him a lot last year, especially when Allen was out.
Sure.
He does have big playability. And it's just, I like Keenan Allen way more. I think him and Rivers are going to be, it's their show. Like, what did Terrell Williams have? Let's see. 7 targets in the first game against Denver, and then 4 against Miami. I mean, if he scores a touchdown, these are great. Well, not great. They're just good. I don't think his target share is there. So in GPPs, if you want to go there, fine. But
agreed. I know. With Allen there. Look, the thing I was having to look at is, do I want a known volume of targets going to Keenan Allen, or do I want the upside of AJ Green? If there's a way you can fit them both in,
on FanDuel.
Yeah. On FanDuel, you probably could. On DraftKings, it's a little harder. But I think if you find there's enough value in those $4,000 wide receivers that you can go after that and still get a decent running back group. It'll be tough, but I think that's a good way to go. Do you have anything else on this matchup?
No,
I don't like any of the tight ends on the other side either.
Me neither.
All right. I mean, this is the game to end, most of this on. We got Oakland at Washington. The week high of 54. Oakland's at 28.5, and Washington is at 25.5. Who are we not playing on Oakland?
You're playing everyone, and except Cook. I'm not on Cook. Everyone loves Cook.
He's cheap.
He's bad. He's never good.
He's cheap.
Whatever. I'm not going to it. I'll eat soap later, but whatever. And I'm not playing Crabtree. He's going to be shadowed by Norman.
He's not going to be shadowed.
Not shadowed, but he runs most of his routes on that side.
Yes.
So his upside's limited. He can still see some targets, which can make his day okay, but it's not going to be great. Right here, you're looking for Amari Cooper, but again, I'm not playing him in cash. I'm playing him in GPPs only, just because there's been struggles with him so far. He's dropped balls, but he does have 2 to 3 touchdown potential, so I love him in GPPs. And then Marshawn Lynch, you can play as well, like him, but there's a split committee there. And not committee, it's just he's the guy, but they want to keep him
for the playoffs.
Exactly. So, Derek Carr, go ahead, play him. Great play. And
I don't know. I mean, the way it sounds like is I think this under is going to hit.
Probably. It's too high.
I think it is. I think the defense of Washington is good enough.
Yeah.
I think the inconsistencies of Cooper are good enough. I think Norman is good enough to contain Crabtree enough. I think Washington can do enough to keep this game close.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are on Cousins. I think he's crapped the bed. It's kind of like New Orleans light with this Oakland defense. It's at Washington, which helps. It's that West Coast team going east. I know it's a late game, but it helps.
It helps.
I still hate Cousins.
All right. I love Cousins. I don't care.
Cousins.
He's in my cash games. It's too easy. His price on FanDuel's so cheap. He has 4 to 5 touchdown potential. They're not going to run the ball that much, I don't think. Their defense is just bad against the pass. And this guy was great throwing the ball last year. He's a slow starter. That's true. I just think this is the spot. This is the spot.
I know, but still, I think, with Mac there, they do crazy things to get him to the quarterback. He's not good under pressure. He already has 4 fumbles, 2 lost.
Yeah.
I mean, look, 2 interceptions. I mean, everyone gets, interceptions. He did have a better game last week, sort of.
Look, it's all contingent on Terrell Pryor, and I think Terrell Pryor is going to.
Are you playing him in cash?
I've been going back and forth, but I don't think so. But a lot of GPPs on him with Cousins too. But Cousins, I think, even if he's throwing out of the backfield to Thompson, and I just think he's going to have to throw because they'll probably be behind, and they'll keep it close enough, but he's gonna have to throw. Their offense isn't that great running the ball. Even Chris Thompson last week, all that stuff was a bunch of missed tackles, and it's.
There's
Kirk
no way this
Cousins
under
show.
doesn't hit. I can't.
Go bet it.
I'm looking at all that. I can't.
You should. I agree, but I think Kirk Cousins still can throw for 300 and 3 touchdowns. It's just, it's going to be under that total though, 100%. So that's it. That's all.
Right. Just if you're playing the Monday night game, Carson Palmer is a maybe. Trevor Siemian did well against that team. He's going to have to throw. I wouldn't be scared of it. I think Zeke's going to eat. He's tired of hearing all this crap about how he didn't run out an interception.
People are saying, I haven't really looked into it, but saying that he looks out of shape. So.
Sure, but okay. Agreed,
that game, it's just him and then J.J. Nelson and Fitzgerald. That's it.
And Jerron Brown.
Maybe. Sure. All right. My
My
computer is dying. I literally am on 1%. So.
All right, 1%. Give me another bold call.
Another one? No.
Yep.
Kenny Stills.
Kenny Stills isn't enough? He's enough for you?
That's two touchdowns from Kenny Stills. That's a bold call.
All right. Well, you're getting mine from Tyler Lockett. So fire him up, guys. I want to thank everyone so much for following us. Please check out the new website, sportsinsider.pro. Check us out on Twitter at sportsinsiderpro, Instagram, Facebook, all the good stuff. Justin, have a good week. Good luck.
Good luck, guys.
And good luck to all of you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.